Hi everyone, my name is Gina Pangalang and I'm the founder of the Sunday Academy. Welcome to our school. We love each family that comes through our doors. Community is very important to us, and I hope you feel embraced and appreciated for who you are and what you bring to our Sunday family. With that being said, this year is a little different and we can't gather together as that community, but I hope that you feel that you can communicate with us at any time and you feel connected to Sunday through our app. Hopefully you see that information about the app and how to stay connected, but don't ever hesitate to reach out to me at any time. I think it's important for all families to know that I started the school with this deep commitment and sense of justice for the individual child. The purpose developed from my early age and education of being a student in education in a classroom. And at the time I felt less than, I felt undervalued, I felt invisible at times, I felt like I wasn't smart. Later I went on to learn that I had dyslexia, so I struggled to read. And if you were like me in a traditional classroom, you know almost everything is prove what you know through reading and writing, and that was difficult for me. So I knew that I had this smarts, and I knew that I could figure out how to answer my teacher's questions if she just would have asked me. So when I went on to college, I decided that I definitely wanted to be a teacher, and then I went into special education so I could learn more about dyslexia and learning disabilities. And I came across the theory of Gardner's multiple intelligence. Some people call it MI, multiple intelligence theory. And it really resonated with me. I knew that Gardner felt like I felt, that all children have this smarts that can be shown in different ways and that we should embrace that. And if we could teach content through their mode of showing us what they know and taking it all in and learning, that they would learn more. So what the theory tells us is that there are different learning styles, 7 different learning styles, and of the multiple intelligences, but our typical classrooms are set up for the logical and linguistical child, and that's the way that if they learn that way easily, then they succeed in the traditional classroom. But that's only 2 of those learning styles. So I set out on this adventure after going to Bowling Green for my undergrad and being at Ohio State for my graduate program, to have a classroom that would be set up to differentiate and serve children through all different types of intelligence modes by teaching in different ways. So I did that. I had some of my career was spent in special education. I had 16 children in my class, which was a great manageable number, but they were 16 kids of multiple age and different learning disabilities and different goals. And I was able to accomplish that, which led me to the foundation of starting Sunday, that we would have multiple grades in a level if we needed to, because we wanted to keep our classes small at 16. If we had 20 third graders, we would split them up, and that was fine because we were going to look at them individually anyway. And then the idea that even though my children in my teaching career sometimes from different years had special needs, it just made me think that everybody's needs are special and everybody is different. So that's how I set up the Sunday classroom back in 2003. And from that time on, we have learned so much about the neuroscience and the brain. And that neuroscience information has proven to really solidify the fact that we are teaching the right way at Sunday, and now it's research proven. So it wasn't just good teaching practices, which was back in my day before we could look into the brain and see what was going on, but now the neuroscience data is proving that to be true. So you might wonder why all schools aren't teaching that way, and I think it's because there's a lot of guidelines coming down from government agencies, and there's, I could go on and on about why they aren't, but I think it's not easy to do, and it takes having small classes and having really motivated teachers and giving them a lot of support, and definitely the small class sizes, but keeping them educated about the neuroscience and giving them freedom to teach with thematic units and projects and making it fun for students, because when kids are engaged in fun, it's going to stick in the long-term memory better. So it's not just because we want to have fun. Here at Sunday is purposeful learning, and when it's purposeful, it's going to stick in their long-term memory. And don't we want all the information that we teach our kids to stick? We don't want it to just be for the test the next week and then for it to be gone. And that's what a traditional classroom's methods are proven to do. They don't stick long-term. They stick for the test. A lot of times there's some research out there that's saying, 2 months after the test, even for an A student, they don't perform the same as they did 2 months prior to taking that test. So that's why Sunday it is set up the way it is. We also looked over the last few years when we researched about our high school and launching our high school program about what employers are saying kids are missing out on. And kids in a traditional classroom are missing out on something we value here at Sunday, and they're called the 4 C's. And it's creativity, communication, critical thinking, skills, and collaboration. And it's always been a foundation of Sunday. So we are trying to prepare the kids for the 21st century. And those are the skills that they need to be successful in the 21st century. The reason I bring up the 21st century a lot when you hear me talk is because our traditional classrooms were really set up and founded in the 20th century. And we know that jobs have changed from them. We know everything in our world has changed from the 20th century. So why are our classrooms kind of stuck in the past and preparing kids for a century so long ago that doesn't exist anymore? So we want to prepare our children for the 21st century, and we do that through a lot of different ways, not just the 4 C's, but through the use of technology and the neuroscience and knowing how children learn and keeping up to date with all those things. So I thought it was important for you to know a little bit about why I started the school, some things that are important to us. I mentioned before when I was talking about Gardner's theories of multiple intelligences, the differentiated classroom, and that is letting kids experience things in different ways and letting them go at their own pace, whether it's an advanced child that's above the state standards. We want to keep them going as far as we can take them. No child should ever be bored or left behind because they weren't ready for something or they already knew something. So a differentiated classroom looks at every child, does some pre-assessment, figuring out what they know, and then taking them to the next level. So we believe here in Sunday Fair is giving every child what they need, not giving everybody the same thing at the same time. So that is what we talk about if you hear us talk about a differentiated classroom. The other thing that's really important to us is the parent communication and that piece, that connection. So the homeschool connection, children will make more progress when we're all on the same page and doing things similarly. So don't ever hesitate to ask why a teacher's doing something they're doing, or just telling us some things about your child that we may not know that we need to know. We know that the social emotional intelligences are important as much as the academic intelligences. So if we know so much about your child's social emotional growth and what's going on in their life, it will help us serve them better, and then it will help them learn more. So we again value that children feel happy and content because we know that when they do, they'll learn more. So we want to know about your child. Let us know anything that's going on that might affect them in the classroom. We want those lines of communication to be open. So hopefully you've been able to get on our app and you can see how to communicate with all of us that way. It's a 21st century tool. Is our app that lets us communicate in that way, that makes it easier for us to do, so that there's no hesitation on your part to communicate with us and our part to communicate with you. So welcome to Sunday. Thank you for being part of our school, and don't ever hesitate to reach out to get a hold of me. I am sorry during this time that we can't gather together in a community, because like I said, that is important to us. So don't hesitate to reach out and let me know how you're doing, how your child's doing, and if you have any questions about Sunday. Thank you.